posed by _pi.
There was a concern. Oh, I should also mention there was an amendment submitted by Pi. It originally said $50 for fourth place and below. Now it's $25 for fifth place and below. That's been changed now.
Yep.
And also there. Go ahead.
I just updated the header just to get the totals.
And there is a concern that we haven't done this sort of thing before. It is an event that is fairly separate from the MRT. It's not being held on the Minecraft server itself. It's not really related to the MRT at all, just in the sense that it has MRT members in the tournament. I did, in one of the staff comments, I did mention it is somewhat comparable to London's pub quiz, but like from last GSM. The difference is the pub quizzes, they are holding it somewhere on the server now that I've looked at it, but it is still a bunch of questions that London makes. So it's not. So other than that, it's not really tied to the server.
Well, and that they're doing it in a voice call, it seems like, or some
separate servers. What I read.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I would argue, I have some experience of exactly what this exactly is. TextCart is like an open source Mario Kart. It's free, anyone can download it. It's interesting. It's definitely like a Mario Kart style game, but I would argue that this game like encourages like community in the sense of like any other event does, because it's only open to MRT members, which is kind of like the standard format of any event that we typically hold. As like I know myself, I'm interested in playing myself.
I think it might be right to have a member of staff monitoring it. I don't know how possible that is. I don't know if it allows for spectators that. I don't know if it allows for spectators that aren't actually playing the game.
That's like it's the 10th, so I will give my current schedule. I'll be there no matter what, probably.
Okay.
I mean, the fact that it is a game that has been I'm not worried about like game specific stuff. I think the only concern that I would have is just that this is the first time that we've really looked at events that take place completely outside of Minecraft.
Yeah.
This does set a precedent. So I guess the question is, are we okay with that? Because if we do this, then there's likelihood that other people will propose their events for other things.
Oh, Pi's here right now, actually.
I'm actually okay. I am okay with this. I don't think the real main point of it is to be on the server specifically. I think the main point of MRT events like this is to just involve the community and have fun as a community. And I think this event accomplishes that just as well as any regular Yoshi show or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
I would agree. And also just
there is spectator if you look at meeting live.
And even though we are predominant, the main purpose of what we have is the Minecraft server. The community, I think, is the thing that is most attractive to people. So having events and stuff like that, I'm all for it. So I think that's fine.
I do have a question over the prize amounts. They seem odd.
Apparently, 314 is probably obvious. I don't know what 573 is, but it's apparently also a math thing, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. They're a little weird. I think it's just _pi being epic gamer moment. I don't know.
I mean, they're arbitrary, but who cares really, as long as they're not too high or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't think they're too terribly high.
Magnitude, they're fine. If he wants to try and go, if Pi wants to try and go, with a 300 IQ funding proposal, and make math references, okay.
Yeah, I'm fine with accepting this. I'll be there probably anyway, so I can give feedback on how it went.
Yeah, it does
Sounds
look
good.
interesting. I'm going to consider participating as well. So that's 2 staff already.
Look, for those people saying, I'm just quoting what Pi says because she says epic gamer moments a lot. So
Significance
Anyway.
of 573 is left as an exercise to the reader.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm happy with it there.
Okay. Sounds like that's approved unless any objections. Once. Only twice. Approved in full. Hope that goes well. On to the IATs. 8A Chestwick at A18 station.
I'm there right now at Cheswick.
Yes, there was. Okay. For those that don't know, I think there was a question about the history of this town. I will say, actually, it doesn't mention it here. Whoever was the mayor, the original mayor of, the deputy mayor. I'm gonna look up right now. Hold on.
It's like, I know this is technically close to Pasadena, and I think that's why Modern was trying to get it himself.
I'd be a lot more against this if it was just some arbitrary town Modern was trying to get, but it seems like he has a perfectly good reason, which is it's next to Pasadena. So
Yep.
Yeah, now he's actually built out towards it.
Yeah. So actually, Silver Bubble is the DM of Chestwick, and in July 2018, he attempted to. Well, with his right, he decided he wanted to give the town to Modern Art. However, at that time, we blocked it because, of course, we had concerns about Modern Art owning too many towns at the time. I believe that's been lifted since then. So, in that sense, then this IAT would not have any sort of restriction.
Yeah, the only thing I have really concerns about here is mainly really the distance between the MRT stations. Because if, say, we did approve A18, given the relative distance, you could technically say he could claim A17, which is right next to it. Because I'm right now in the middle. You could see all the building development. It's really close to A17.
Same argument could be made. Same argument could be made about T23.
Yeah.
Seeing as T23 is adjacent to the line, just without a stop on the Arctic.
Is that a separate town itself, AP?
I'm looking around trying to find it's Harrington. I don't know if it's listed on the staff docs, but the mayor is listed in Town Hall as DC 1466, who has been offline for 2 months, 14 days.
Okay. Well, just focusing on A18 then.
Mm-hmm.
Are we okay with just giving at least that town? Modern?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's definitely a very valid ask.
yeah, I see. I mean, there's totally valid reason for him to have it. It's right next to his town, so
Yeah,
I see
I
no.
don't really
I
have
see
much
no
problem with it.
Yeah, with that town by itself, I don't have any issues. I think if it was to be expanded a lot more, then I would start having more questions. But
Yeah.
A18 by itself, I'm fine.
Yeah, I'm reasonably happy with it.
Oh no, Fred captioned this. Fred's uploading audio captions now. Great job, Fred.
Oh.
Okay. That sounds like that's approved.
Okay.
Cool.
I'm just going to note 8B. There's an error in the image. I'm going to upload a new image. So 1 sec. Okay, there we go.
Right.
Do you see the new image now?
Where'd you put it?
8B.
Yes,
on
I
the
see it.
bottom topic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this makes a lot more sense, I think. a little bit.
Where's Grafton on the map? I don't see anything saying Grafton.
I just
Grafton.
warped to Cape Cambridge. Painted
So-
had warped there, so I'm right there right now.
The original image didn't make it very clear. This makes it a little bit more clear. Grafton is basically the red circled areas. It's actually split into 2 parts. There's actually a rail system that connects between those 2 places.
Oh, and okay, and so, okay, and given the other side of the ton of Oceanside. So basically, what Painted wants to do is take claim the eastern side, and then give the western side over to Oceanside, and then the channel or the water there in between would remain, or the border would collapse down to the water bit. Okay, that makes more sense now.
Okay, and who owns Oceanside?
That would be. Oh, I figured that out at some point. Yeah, Etihad Man. Yes, Painted Blue just mentioned it.
Okay,
Okay,
seems fine to me.
Yeah.
that's
it's
a very reasonable plan.
it's reasonable.
Like
So
my-
Tam, that's reasonably close. It's reasonably close to both of them. I'm assuming that there's been some communication between Painted and between Painted and Etihad. So
I mean, I would assume so, given the coordination that's happening here. So yeah, fine with me. Yeah, Painted Blue just confirmed. So okay, happy to approve.
Cool.
Now
Cool,
it's the fun
approved.
one.
Okay, now to the one that's actually contested. Select Central Airlines. So we have bids from both Frog and Elite.
okay,
So Frog essentially, it looks like he would basically be taking Select Central Airlines and merging it into National Airlines.
And it also looks like you mentioned the MRT statistics, though. I don't know what that part is supposed to mean.
That's just in terms of, if you've got the growth of merging airlines together, he wants to move up a tier in that one spreadsheet. So
They both mentioned as far as Select's assets is Kenhurst, Select's, and Segville.
okay, the Elite's request just wants to use the gates and effectively merge it into his airline of Clipper Airlines. Looking at just the proposals by themselves, I appreciate that Frogs goes into a little bit more, but I mean, they're both equivalent of just like what they want to do. They just want to effectively take this one and just merge it into their existing airlines.
Yeah,
Difference here, I think, is Elite wants to put it as a subsidiary, while Frog probably will put it as national itself.
As a full
Elite
merge.
says he wants. Yes.
Yeah.
Elite's
Okay.
doing like a special livery in this case, and restoring apparently old service between Withern and Selet's.
okay.
We know Frog had already talked to Meet Me in Space before, as we saw in the past emails.
Yeah, but we don't really we
Hmm.
don't really honor things that don't come directly from the person, so I'm not going to take that really into account.
Well, yeah.
Well, I mean, it does at least, even though it's not any official transaction, it does at least tell us that they have at least been starting to talk about it.
Sure.
Yeah, it would have been nice if Space had sent a formal email himself, but yeah.
Well, then that would avoid the whole IAT process. So,
Right. I know, that's what I'm saying. It would have been nice if he did.
yeah, exactly. But oh well.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, again, they both want to do effectively similar things. Based on what we have in front of us now, I'm more inclined to award it to Frog, primarily because there has been past communication attempts, and it seems like Frog. Like, I mean, they both have routes already planned, but I mean, it's a. I could be convinced either way.
Yeah, both of them have similar merits, to be honest.
Right.
Mhm.
It's kind of hard to decide between them.
Honestly, I'm leaning a little bit towards Elite. Elite seems to be like seems to be more into preserving the airline a little bit more, and once again, and restoring one of their routes. But honestly, I am not very strong about it.
I agree with Vicky here. I'd say a little bit more towards Elite just because he wants to preserve part of the airline, but I don't really care either way. Because they've both got good merits.
No opinion on this.
Yeah. Again. Yeah.
I
I
don't really care either.
Let's flip a coin.
Hello. Oh my god, I just noticed I was muted. Jesus Christ.
Hi,
Yoshi.
Jesus.
Hi.
Yoshi.
Hi.
I was gonna say I was gonna be leaning over towards Frog for the fact that even though, like Chief said, we don't really take consideration we don't take consideration unless it's beneficial to the other person. Frog did at least try to contact, meet me in space.
Mhm.
While I think this might just be tacked on because it's because you saw an opening and just put it there. So I think at least Frog took the initiative to at least try to contact the person. So I think that we should at least honor that.
Elite's submission was also late, so I mean, I know that it's like technically in a special case because it's challenging something that's already on there, but it was submitted 2 hours after the standard deadline. So
Yeah, Elite, the announcement doesn't matter. It is the deadline is the time. So
yeah,
Mossy AP, do you have any opinions?
I-
Not really.
I am leaning a little bit more towards Frog. Again, because of trying to. It looks like there has been communication between Frog and Space.
Yeah, it seems like Frog wants it more, if that makes sense. Frog has put a lot more effort into trying. Well, I think Elite's a little bit of a reaction. That's what it sounds like. I didn't know a lot of that information.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. As
Elite
much as I
had
think we should take things like that into account, I think it's fair
yeah
to
again
say.
it is a weird one. I mean, it's mostly just, and again, that's why it's a slight thing. It's not like this isn't it's not a case where there's a lot of evidence that's clearly in one person's favor or another. It's more anecdotal stuff. So yeah, because Elite's case, he wants to preserve the existing airline more or less, just integrate it from an ownership perspective. Frog has, at least from what we can tell, has at least tried to work something out in the past. So yeah, I mean, both of them could be good cases.
Yeah, I really don't have an opinion on this.
Yeah.
They're all
As someone who's not in the airline industry anymore, I also, I have my opinions on it, but those aside, they're both fine. So
I don't think we should defer it because there's nothing that we'd really gain from deferring it.
yeah, I mean, I'd rather just award it, and if the two of them want to come to some sort of agreement and split it after we award it, I'm fine with that. Like if they want to split routing or whatever, like that's no problem for me. So
but if Frog decides not to split it, which is certainly a possibility, then he is within his rights.
yeah, they're both within their rights to either take it by themselves or to try and split it. So
I mean, as far as assets go for Slot Central Airlines, there's really just one flight.
I
That's
don't think
all
we
they
should
have.
be. I don't think we should be discussing. I think we're putting too much discussion on something that's not
Yeah.
overly important, in my opinion. So it's not. It's not a humongous airline.
no, this is a very small thing.
Yeah. Given the slight, like everyone's kind of leaning towards Frog, I'm fine with Frog.
Well, I tossed a coin and it said frog, so
Okay.
Yeah, honestly, the impression I got was that we were leaning slightly towards Frog anyway.
Yeah,
I
it's
could be wrong about that.
yeah. All right.
Yeah, I'm fine.
I think we're gonna go with. I think we're gonna go with Frog.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, Elite. If
he's
yeah.
fine with that.
Seems like he's fine with that. Okay. Cool. Then transfer to Frog. That's done. And that's approved. 8D has been pulled. 9A. Vicky, you want to make more Western Line.
Yes,
The
I
floor
do.
is yours.
Well, everything is kind of in that. So I'm like, basically, I plan on extending the Western all the way to Aston, which is slightly within Zeta. Just because, like, Aston's a significant enough settlement, and it's just a short enough trip into Zeta that I think it's fine. Other than that, it'll be mostly Epsilon, just getting it to that Zeta point. I got permission through the towns that it's going to pass by. There is a military base by Submerged Subway that's just west of the current terminus of WN30. But if you could see in the image, I do plan on routing it around. I probably won't give WN31 away in the initial station giveaway or whatever. But like, I do plan on going around it because I tried and I failed to contact Submerged Subway. He did not respond.
She actually, if I recall correctly.
Hmm?
Submerge is a
Mm.
is, that's her pronoun. Yeah.
Yeah, from all accounts, Submerged Subway was like around until around the 20th of last month, and then he just like vanished one day, or they just vanished one day.
this looks fine.
Yeah, this looks good to me.
Vicky, are you gonna after this extension? What are your further plans for WN, like further extensions for it?
It'll most likely just go north. It's pretty close to the to Frumpel's plan that he made like when Zeta was like first coming out.
Mm-hmm.
So most likely it'll just like continue north, I'd imagine. I don't really have any specific plans for it.
You don't have to follow my plan exactly to letter. I don't know where exactly north it'll go, but somewhere in that area is fine.
It goes in
Yeah,
that
I was
general
just
direction.
curious. I was like, aside, I was like, that was just kind of off topic, but I'm fine with the current plan as it is. I like it.
Yeah, looks good to me.
Yeah, I like it.
All right.
Okay.
I'm happy approving.
WNX1 approved. Okay, Cece, you have some Tiger Line stations to award.
Yeet. We got 2 this time. I know we were trying to watch on how many allocations we were going to get in the recent extensions. Tygo this is including like Narnia section that he built, which is 2 stations itself from T50. So T51 through T58 were T57, sorry, were available to be awarded. T58 is Town of Barrow. So JDK White House, that one's for him. I made sure that on the application. Moose _52. His first choice was T57. He had on his application. He only has one town that itself is not ranked. I don't see anything why not for him. And then Sans put T55 as his first choice. Not really in contention there. I put green on both of them. I'm open to any other opinions.
Yeah, these are both fine.
How many?
How about me?
Just for stats, how many stations were available? Were open?
Sure. So it was T51 through T57. If you recall on the application, I did join 2 of them together due to like development reasons.
Okay.
So
Oh,
I
yeah.
think 6 were available.
So in this case, 2 out of 6 were taken. Okay.
Yes. I wasn't really anticipating a lot given the short length of this extension.
And considering it's an Arctic biome, I'm a little. Generally, I've seen it's not the most popular
Yeah, those generally
biome
are.
for people to build. So this is actually not too bad, based on what we've seen from other extensions where nobody wants to build anywhere there.
Yeah, this is fine.
Yeah. And for the future, in case somebody does want to extend this further north, the plan Gods and I were drafting was to extend this to cross the lake shore and keep going north. Of course, we can plan that later. But yeah, that's all
looks
I
good to
got.
me. Okay, approved. Okay, 10A. So the community town of Jimbo that Mojang and Sands are running, they would like to build helipads and or airships. I think it's mostly just helipads though. Two helipads slash appropriate spaces for I don't know if they're going to use airships, but anyway.
Who would determine who gets those pads? I guess.
I assume Mojang, because he runs it.
Sands is in
Sands.
Discord right now.
Yeah, Mojang and Sands kind of are in charge of it. So
okay,
let's see.
I'm there now if you want to TP. I do agree, it's about the size of a regular mayor town. Maybe a little smaller, but not by much.
There's a couple islands off to the side that are a part of it. So where I just helped Mojang with a spleef arena this morning. That's in the island right next over to it. So
okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'm
fine to me.
Yeah, I'm fine with it in principle. I think if Mojang and Sands figure out an equitable way to handle it. Wipeout says
I don't see that in the proposal though, that it's going.
Well, yeah, so Wipeout is claiming that one would go to the NYT Airship Company and one would go to Sands. But
it's not a proposal, it's not official, but
yeah, that's just that wasn't in there originally. So yeah.
okay.
Fine.
Yeah, I would say other than that one small thing, that it looks good. So I think that maybe we just would want to just follow up with Mojang just to double check that he's got a plan in place for that. But I mean, just even if Mojang just decides that he's going to be point on it and then just assign it or figure it out similar to how normal helipads and stuff work, I'm fine with that just as long as it's specified. So, because the project is being run by Mojang predominantly, but then Sands also helped create it. So. But I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I can't see in the proposal where the pads would be.
I think
does it matter? I guess.
No, it doesn't. I mean, this is the 2 helipads at Mayor, so
that's fair.
It's a very small amount. It's a very small footprint. So I'm sure that they'll. I'm sure that Mojang will figure something out.
Yeah.
In that case, I'm happy. I'm happy approving.
This is all good to me.
Cool.
Sounds good.
Alrighty. Jimbo Heli approved. All right, and last thing is a lake renumber. So
Does anyone have the lake map?
yeah, I'm gonna get it up. 1 sec.
It says rename. Does that mean it already had a name, or just rename it from Lake 32? That's my question.
So 32. Oh God, where is it on this map?
You can, if you can, Chief, maybe post it to the meeting channel.
Yeah, I will. 32. I don't
Oh,
believe.
thanks, Yoshi.
Yeah, she's got it.
Not all, and not yeah. I think that's mostly accurate, and then the list is under the.
Wait,
there. I
that
think
link
there's
Oh,
not
the
working.
the link broke in Minecraft. So if I do it like this,
going.
Okay.
yeah, it was missing a couple underscores. So, so 32 is in the very northeast corner.
Okay.
Does anyone else
And
have a town out there?
Yeah. Let me look on Map.
Vicky, isn't that close to you?
She's in a
It is.
different.
It's a
Different-
bit
different.
east of Salina, but Salina's on like 33, not 32.
Okay, so Dinty, I believe, is on that lake.
I see one town on the lake. I don't know whose it is. I assume it's Ondus.
Is it on the west side?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I
That's
see it now.
Beachview. That's Dinty's town.
Oh. And I assume Dinty gave permission for this.
I
That
haven't
isn't
heard.
specified. That's a good question.
Yeah, I haven't heard.
Beyond?
From,
Oh. Hmm.
so this is Beachview.
Ondus doesn't even have a town on the lake.
Yeah, wait. Does Ondus have a claim on the lake? That's a good question.
There's only one town on the lake, and it's not Ondus.
Yeah, as far as I know, he doesn't.
There might be.
Map.
Because MNA, Lake 32 is very much within the MNA kind of area, and we would
Okay,
know
so
if
If you look at Dynamap where I am, this is on this town of Capin. So there is a claim like on the edge of the lake, I believe. This is town of
Okay.
Capin.
One thing I'll note on the proposal, unfortunately, Dondas does not provide justification for why or reasons why he wants to name it that way. So
He also
And,
doesn't
yeah.
clarify if he got Dinty's permission, so I'm just willing to
I'm inclined
deny
to
it.
say no.
We know that.
Yeah, maybe deny and say,
Because we need
resubmit.
that. Yeah.
Deny
Well,
and ask to resubmit.
Anything that's denied technically can be resubmitted. So
Mhm.
yeah, so, I mean, I think it's I think we just
Also,
need to
does
say no.
on this town even have a rank?
I don't believe
It
it
doesn't
does.
look like it. It's got like 4 buildings.
I believe Dinty's town is actually mayor ranked, but Ondus town would not have one, as far as I know. Ondus also, I mean, not that it's a requirement, but Dinty is within the Metro North MPO, but Ondus isn't. So again, that's not going to count against either of them at all. It's just from a planning perspective, it's a little easier. Oh my God, Janji, really? Seriously? Not cool.
I think they're just angry. They're doing their thing. Anyway, so just on future, if we do see these sort of proposals where they just request a rename, please ask. Please don't add it to the agenda. Please ask.
Who put it
for
on?
justification. Yeah, that's,
Who put
who
this
cares
on?
about what? We're not going to blame people. Just in future, don't.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Don't.
Okay, so that is going to be a no.
And if you're submitting a lake rename idea proposal, please make sure to get the permission of everyone on the lake.
That too.
Yep,
And-
that's
And try to justify it, even though Loch Lymon was named after a cat.
yeah. Even like dumb names like that is AP and I both are in agreement on that. Even though it's kind of a dumb name, but it's funny. So
At least it's not Lake Thanos.
anyway, that's it for the ISM. Unless anyone has any burning emergency things that need to be addressed now.
Right, the
To
Tiger
me,
line.
I'd rather keep the meeting as short as possible because we're going to play Among Us after this. So
And at 35 minutes, I think that's meeting done.
Yep, I
Yeah.
think we're good. Cool. Thanks everybody for coming. have fun playing Among Us. Remember, Frumple is always your first imposter, because no matter what he says,
So was the
just
chief.
being in electrical is incredibly suspicious. So
Frumple
always vote
sus.
Frumple. The end. Yeah, Frumple sus. All right.
I'm just done the stream. Jesus.
All right,
All right,
I am
thanks,
actually
guys.
going to get started on my MRT extension and do some laundry.
See you, Vicky.
For our viewers on MBS, thanks for joining us for our live coverage of this month's ISM. Of course, you can check us out on Twitter at twitter.com/news_MBS for all of the live updates from today's meeting, all of the things that were approved and denied. Also, stay tuned with us next weekend. The Amazing Race 11 will be having its 10th and final leg on Saturday at 7 p.m. GMT. And in a couple weeks, you can watch the full-length general staff meeting right here on MBS. For now, from MBS News live at Frumple's house, I'm Kitty Catwoman 231, and thanks for watching.